Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is May 16th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery, and we've got a lot going on here. You can kind of see this upper level low still spinning across Oregon, Washington. Look at this out here, all this forest fire smoke across some of BC here, sliding down through Alberta towards the states here, but you can really see it well here on the GOES 18 satellite imagery. Kind of a low pressure system moving across Canada there. Look at all this stratus right along the immediate coastline. Did infiltrate into western Washington here, and you can see along the coastline it is already starting to burn back as we go through the day today. We're going to get a thunderstorm threat again today for the Cascades East mainly. We'll take a look at those details coming up here. Over the next few days, you can't completely rule out another thunderstorm across some of southwest BC, western Washington. We'll take a look at those details here in a moment. This is looking at SeaTac yesterday. If we didn't have that cloud cover around, we would have got 90 degrees yesterday, folks. That would have been the earliest day ever. But right now, that record for the earliest 90-degree day set back in 2008 is safe, but we have set 4 straight daily record highs. Just incredible, feat there. Look at that, 2023, that's 4 straight now. And you can see the normal high for this time of year is only 66 degrees, so up over 20 degrees above average for the last 3 days. Here we go. This is for Seattle. Look, another warm day today. I mean, there's no cool down coming immediately. You can see it for the next few days, 77, 83, 83, 79, 77. Very warm, well above average here. And you can see Hoquiam, pretty mild there out there as well. You can see Everett warming up quite nicely in the afternoons also. So, yeah, we're not cooling down anytime soon. This is for yesterday. Portland did not get that record high of 2006 of 93. This is current hazards right now. We do have some of those flood warnings, I believe that is a flood watch. So we have some of this heavy rainfall potential today, and there is some snow melting here. So they do have these flood watches out here with some of this thunderstorm activity today. This is heavy rain in the thunderstorms. National Weather Service Spokane. Look at this, up to 1 inch of rain per hour. So watch out for this, especially across the higher terrain this afternoon and into the early overnight hours. This is flash flooding possible Tuesday today, and you can see this excessive rainfall outlook does include portions of Spokane, some of the higher terrain out towards the northern portion of Lake Chelan there, so watch out for that. This is the Northern Rockies as well. This extends across the Idaho Panhandle out into western Montana as well. Now looking here, this is National Weather Service area of responsibility. The red is Seattle, the blue is Portland. So Portland does include some of the Washington counties here. And this is Pendleton. It does come all the way across Kittitas and Yakima, and Spokane includes some of Chelan here, Grant and Okanagan counties there. So if you're wondering, when you're clicking around on the NOAA site there, this is where the National Weather Service offices do cover. And Spokane also covers some of the Idaho Panhandle here, as well as all the way down towards Lewis County in Idaho. This is looking at the GFS, 18,000 feet, wider view of things here. There's Alaska, Washington, Oregon. Check out the ridge. It's been kind of dominating our weather here. We have that upper level low still kind of right there, and you can see it kind of exists through the day today. This ridge maintains itself. Get another little bit of energy here across British Columbia here Thursday, but then we're going to turn that flow a little bit more onshore, especially aloft. We're going to end any kind of a thunderstorm threat for western portions here, although it is quite slim at this point. Going off into the extended, you can see the GFS wants to bring that trough here as we go into Saturday night into Sunday morning here across Pacific Northwest. Moves it through a little bit of ridging here, then it wants to drop another trough down here as we go into the 8, 9 day, 10 day period. Look at that, would be a bullseye right here across western Washington. It's quite a ways out. We're looking over 200 hours, so we'll watch that as we go over the next few days. But there are some signs for troughing in the extended. This is the European yesterday afternoon's run as well. That little upper level low here, you can see spinning on the visible this morning, and you can see that ridge going. A little bit of energy moves down across BC there with that system that dives down across the northern plains. Then you can see that ridge continue to develop, and the European also kind of in agreement here as we start to look out into the future for a trough over the Pacific Northwest. This is way out towards May 23rd, the morning time here. So we'll just continue to watch this as we go. It's bound to change at this point. Now we're looking at 700 millibar winds. This is towards 10,000 feet, and this kind of shows you what direction these thunderstorms could potentially move. So by the time you go into this afternoon, you can kind of see this northerly flow aloft, so that we don't have that much of a steering flow aloft off the Cascades to carry these things into the lower elevations, but you can see a little bit of a northeast flow here aloft. You can't completely rule out a thunderstorm this evening trying to drift out into the foothills of southwest BC and maybe even into extreme northern Washington as well. Now as we go on into Wednesday, see that flow kind of turn a little bit more off to the northeast here, so you can't completely rule out a thunderstorm, although it is quite weak. The flow aloft out over the foothills there, maybe of the Cascades of Washington, but we'll watch that again tomorrow. And on Thursday, you get one more chance as the system kind of rolls in here. The European was showing some thunderstorm activity that we'll look at here in a moment, but then we're going to kind of kick this flow back off onshore again, I should say, as we go on in towards Friday. This is looking at convective available potential energy. That's why they have some of this flood watches out across some of the higher terrain here. You can see this cape develop over across the Cascades in northeast Washington, Idaho Panhandle, western Montana, and across British Columbia as we go through the day today. Go back into tomorrow, and again, we're going to destabilize across the Cascades in northeast Washington here, up into BC. Then we go into Thursday yet again. You can't rule out a thunderstorm here Thursday yet, but we'll watch that as we go. But you can see we're going to go day by day here with some instability building. This is the NAM3 cam, and you can kind of see that low pressure system spinning here. By the time we get into the afternoon, we should have thunderstorms across the Cascades, east slopes of the Cascades. You can see southeast Washington as well. Going in through Wednesday, you'll see that convection redevelop here and kind of stained Cascades east for the most part. As we go on into Thursday, the European wants to keep it a little bit more further west. We'll show you that here in a moment. The NAM showing probably a more realistic solution of keeping the convection over the Cascades. This is looking at last night's European run, so we'll run through today, and you can see the thunderstorm potential here, Cascades east again. As we go through Wednesday, something similar here. And then as we go through Thursday, you'll notice it kind of shows a little bit further west motion here, maybe into the foothills. We'll watch this again. We have a couple days to look at that right now. The European kind of an outlier there. Now we're looking at the 12Z. This goes out 48 hours, and you can kind of see these thunderstorms tracking across the region today, tomorrow, kind of similar flow there, and then on into Thursday again. This is 24-hour 2-meter temperature, so you can see we're going to warm up pretty well again today, probably 77 for Seattle. Like the National Weather Service said, but, pretty warm across the Pacific Northwest, definitely above average. Here goes tomorrow, Wednesday. The National Weather Service calling for 83 at SeaTac there, but look at some of these temperatures through the Willamette Valley, back to the mid and potentially upper 80s coming up here in eastern Washington, some 90-degree readings. Here we go on into Thursday, another very warm day. Look at Seattle, probably into the mid 80s again here. So no cool down is coming here, folks. You can see it remains quite warm across the Pacific Northwest on in through the end of this week. Here we go, Seattle, Tacoma, and you can see these days up around 80, potentially mid-80s here, all the way through Saturday coming up here before the potential for a trough moving into the area does exist as we get into Sunday here. So we'll watch that also as we go. This is the 6 to 10-day temperature outlook through May 25th. You can see the West Coast pretty much included in that above-average signal, 8 to 14-day above average here as we go. But this may change here, as you guys saw that trough showing up on the GFS and the European. And again, this is from May 12th. This goes all the way in through June 9th. You can see the above average signal there and the below average signal for some of western Washington as we go on through June 9th also. But yeah, lots going on here this morning. You can see kind of a glitch there in the GOES 18. But yeah, look at that forest fire smoke moving around Canada there. Upper level low stratus should be burning off during the day today. Another very warm day across a lot of the Pacific Northwest. And watch out across some of the higher terrain of the Cascades. Thunderstorms are going to be firing up this afternoon and evening yet again. So anyway, yeah, hope you guys are having a good day out there. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.